Hello, this is an Astroneer tutorial on how power lines work. So, power lines can be summed up in two sentences. Normal power lines share power evenly, and one-way power lines divide the remaining power between themselves. So, in this video, I'm gonna break down what that actually means and how it actually works with a couple of examples. So here we have an RTG which generates 4 power going into 2 platforms connected by a normal power line. If I turn on these 2 research chambers, which both use 2 power, you can see they're both running at full capacity, but if I turn on these 2, they all slow down and they're all going the same speed. So what this means is the power is being shared evenly between everything on both these platforms, and it's only providing 1 power to each of these. This example is describing the remaining power in one-way power lines transfer the remaining power between themselves. So this is the remaining. So if I turn on both of these, they're both going to use 2 power, and now we're using all the power out of this RTG, technically. But if I turn on this, you'll notice that this research chamber is running at full speed, while the bottom 2 are running at half speed. That's because we have 4 power coming into this platform. This research chamber is using up 2 power, so it's not even considering these. And then the remaining 2 power is going through this line to the 2 research chambers at the bottom. And if I turn on this one, there's no power remaining. So this RTG is outputting 4. These 2 research chambers are using 4, so there's none left to go through the extender. So that is why one-way power lines only transfer the remaining power. Here is a big example of one-way power lines divide the power evenly between themselves. So if you look at this, we have these 3 platforms up top, all connected by normal power lines, and then the output of that is going to a vehicle, is going to a splitter, and is going to an extender. Now if I look at this splitter, there's only 1 power on it. This medium generator is generating 3 power, and we have 3 lines, one-way power lines, coming out of this setup here. The setup, anything connected by normal power lines is considered basically 1 unit for the properties of power. So what we have is we have 1 unit going down each of these 3 lines, and through the extender, just to show that it's only ever going to pull the amount, the remaining power divided among itself. So you can see here, these are going very slowly because we only have 1 power going through this line. So this is only taking 1 power, and even though there's 3 power coming from this medium generator, because we have 3 one-way power lines coming out of this system up here, it is only going to supply 1 power through this. So this cable extender will only ever pull 1 power. And again, if I turn this on, or I could turn this one on just to show you that it divides evenly. See, these are even slower, and then that one's going at full capacity. And if I turn this one on, everything stops. So the 2 sentences that basically tell you how power works is normal power lines share power, and one-way power lines, regardless if they're coming from a vehicle, a splitter, or an extender, will divide the remaining power between themselves. Yeah, this can get really complicated if you have complicated setups with a lot of normal power lines and one-way power lines. But that is basically it. I hope this simplifies things, and if you can keep those 2 sentences in mind when you're running extenders and splitters and vehicles, it'll hopefully help you out with your power needs and be much less confusing. That is it. Thank you for your time.